Hey everyone, this is Max from Unsubscribed Healthcare, and today we're going to be going over the Outcome Measures tab. What is the Outcome Measures tab? Well, the Outcome Measures tab is used to pull forward outcome measures. So if you are testing a patient for the Dynamic Gait Index, you could click on the Dynamic Gait Index and click Search. Once you click Search, it will pull that information forward. This is customizable, and you can add more outcome measures as you see fit. The general layout of the Outcome Measures tab is that you have in cell A1 the ability to click on Eval, Superbill, and to jump to those tabs. In cell B1, you can click on the name of the outcome measure that you want to pull forward, click Search, and once you click Search, it will pull it forward, and you'll be able to click on all of this and record all of the testing and measuring and anything else that you need to do. So there are a lot of already pre-made templates for you to choose from. But if you want to choose and make your own, you're able to do that. The way that this program works is that it looks for the name of the template that you're referring to in row 2. So the first thing to get started is that we would want to put in the new name in row 2. Now, one of the ones that I have used in the past but I don't have copied is for the Modified Oswestry Low Back Pain Disability Questionnaire. So you can follow along. I'm going to go ahead and make this, and I'll probably speed up the video just to show you the process of inputting it, and I will give a voiceover afterwards. So right now what I'm doing is I'm copying each section as well as the URL for where I got this from. And then when you press Control V or Command V, it will just paste the exact text that you've copied into one cell. So a trick that I used here is I pressed Command Shift V or Control Shift V if you're on Windows. And what it does is it takes each line and then it submits it into a new row and a new cell. And in this way, I'm able to quickly copy and paste over all of the questions. You can see here that I'm also adding in checkboxes because I'm going to be using those for programming. So I've gone ahead and sped up all of the questions being input, and you can see I am quickly putting those each in. It does not go this fast in real life. This in total took me about 20 minutes. After you have all the information pasted in, you want to take some time, move all of the questions over, and add the checkboxes in. The other thing that I noticed while doing this is that the other groups were causing the formatting to be weird and the row sizes to be different, so that's why I right-clicked on the top and pressed Collapse All. And you can see here, I noticed that there are a couple of rows that are just text and not actually the full question. So I need to reformat this in order to have all of the questions kind of be in one line. And then I'm also going to use the merge cell and then the keep text in the cell and wrap around function. So those are at the top. The square with the two arrows and pointing towards the middle is for merging. And then if you look at the line with the arrow pointing to the right and then has a triangle there, you can select the wraparound option then. Here I'm looking how to interpret the score and how to calculate it, and just going over the scoring instructions and figuring out kind of in my brain how I'll calculate all of this out. I decided one of the easiest way to do that is to just copy and paste the values 0 to 5 because that's what each score is worth. And again, you can see a lot of formatting goes into each of these. Here I am going through section 4 and 5 and scoring it 0 through 5. And the reason I'm doing this layout is because after I get the 0 through 5 put in, I can go ahead and make it so in a different cell, if the checkbox is marked off, then it's going to equal the cell next to it. So it just makes it a little bit easier. Instead of saying if this box is checked off, then it's equal to 1. If this box is checked off, it's equal to 0. And you'll see as I quickly am able to go through that formatting. Here I'm using if this is true, then equal the cell next to it. If it's not true, then leave it blank. And now you can see that by using that formula that I wrote in there, I'm able to quickly check off the boxes and it is able to get the correct number for me. Here I'm again formatting it and merging so that all 3 columns FF to FH are all merged. And then what I'm going to do afterwards is I'm going to do that wraparound option so that the whole entire question can be read. So now that all of the wraparound text is easily readable, now I selected one option from each, and here I am again reading and just trying to understand how this should be calculated. Here I'm using the count function to count how many answers there are. So it does not count the blank ones, so if there are 10 available, we're going to multiply that by 5. Because the way that this is calculated is that it takes the total amount of questions answered multiplied by 5, and then you divide that total by the total possible score. So basically now I am creating the summary of it, and I am saying the sum of all these numbers divided by the total amount of questions possible, the maximum answer available, then multiply that by 100, and that will get you your percentage. And then by pressing ampersand and adding quotes and a percentage, we are able to add in a percentage mark afterwards. Here I'm just formatting so that you can't see the numbers, and then I'm making the color to just color code it to make it easier for me to see where it is in the future. Alright, so now that you can see that I finished totaling that, it now allows me to calculate any of these areas by selecting this, and it will automatically count how many sections have been clicked and what my total score is. So after reading this how to calculate the Oswestry low back pain, that is how we came up with that. So we just follow along with that guide there. And basically, yeah, we are able to now select the modified Oswestry. So we'll go here and we'll type in modified Oswestry. Oh, looks like I already had the disability index in there. So you can see when we click on ours, it will automatically pull it forward, and then we can calculate. And so you can see now we get the total, and then we would be able to change a couple other cells around so that the eval automatically pulls it forward. So you can see the eval is referencing outcome measures D1. In order to get the modified Oswestry low back pain disability index questionnaire answer for the eval, we would want to change this ifs function a little bit. So the way that this ifs function works is that we are having if cell B1 is equal to our new outcome measure, then the answer should be cell E74. And that's where we place the answer. So now, whenever we have that available, we can check on the eval, and you can see that it is 66. For the reeval, we'll need to modify the same if function in cell E1. So let's go to E1, and we're going to do the same thing. When B1 is equal to this new outcome measure, it should answer. And if we had made a new outcome measure reeval, we would answer it there. But for right now, we're just going to use, again, E1 is going to be equal to the total here. So if we go back to the treatment, you can now see it's equal to that. So that's how you create your own and update your own eval and treatment outcome measures automatically by modifying cell D1 and E1. And don't worry, if you mess up, you can always press the undo button. And finally, if you wanted to be able to save this as a PDF, you are able to by just clicking Save as PDF. And you can see it names it after the patient, the outcome measure that you chose, as well as the date and time. When you click on that, you are now able to see all of the outcome measures and what they look like, and it saves it into a PDF form for you so that you can keep it in your patient's chart. That concludes our outcome measures tutorial. Next up, we will go over the CMS input.